The unhealthiest restaurant in America.
When John Basso first opened the Heart Attack Grill, he had no idea that serving the world's unhealthiest menu would come with so much controversy, countless lawsuits, an avalanche of bad press, and multiple heart attacks on the premises. Prior to opening the Heart Attack Grill in 2005, Basso owned 3 different exercise gyms over a 12-year period, where he had advised clients on their dietary and exercise needs, as well as on techniques of caloric reduction. However, he felt this was an untruthful line of work, stating, "It's disgusting because you're promising people things that are outside their genetic possibility. Instead of being a slimy, crooked, dishonest peddler of health and fitness services, I would actually launch a hamburger concept that would be absolutely honest, and that's the only guiding principle."
Hey, this is bad for you, and it's gonna kill you.
The first Heart Attack Grill in Arizona featured a front door sign reading, "Caution, this establishment is bad for your health."
Before this video even starts, I just want to mention that anywhere that you decide to go is your big adult decisions and should not be anyone's responsibility. I mean, look at this warning. This establishment is bad for your health. How could there be any controversy around that? That is a very clear warning.
Before they'd later add cash only because you might die before the check clears. Inside, they'd proudly display the catchphrase "taste worth dying for." However, the most insane piece of signage was without a doubt this, reading, "Anyone over 350 pounds eats for free all day, every day, unlimited," with the only rules being no taking food to go, no sharing with
must weigh in with doctor or nurse before each burger. If that's not clear, then I don't know what is. It is literally telling you that you will die. I don't even know how you could make something this unhealthy that it could give you a heart attack with just one burger, but I am very curious to find out.
And does not include beverages, although this wasn't the only unlimited service offered by the restaurant.
Instead of a salad bar, there's an all-you-can-eat flatliner fries bar.
To serve the free meals, Basso took a tip from Hooters by hiring a bunch of sexy nurses, with a theme of honesty also extending into the job application process, with questions such as whether the applicant has an innie or outie belly button.
That is so stupid. Imagine not being hired somewhere because your belly button is not what they want. No, that is way too insane.
Who would they have a hot one-night stand with, their opinion on certain conspiracy theories, and a comment stating, "No one gives a damn about your academic achievements, but if you want to bore us with them, go right ahead." As the head of the restaurant, John spends every day dressed as a doctor, stating, "We promote nicotine, alcohol, caffeine, fat, cholesterol, sodium, all the building blocks of a quality, healthy, good time," with these insane statements leading to his first appearance on a local news station.
There is a restaurant in Tempe where the food is so rich they call their big burger the quadruple bypass. Not everybody thinks that's funny, least of all the Arizona Board of Nursing.
The news story then stated that the American Nursing Board had received 5 or 6 complaints about them calling their waitresses nurses. However, 5 or 6 complaints was a small price to pay, given the story was basically free advertising.
All right, so if you want a bypass, of course the good kind, now you know where to go. It's called the Heart Attack Grill.
This then turned into further news coverage where John explained the other ways in which the restaurant might kill you.
We don't do Diet Coke. We don't do light beers. We don't even provide lettuce on our burgers.
With the unique
No lettuce is crazy. No lettuce is where it gets me. If you're gonna be eating all of that, you need a little bit of crunch in that burger. I would not be able to eat a burger that has no lettuce. That is literally a crime. Although for the rest of it, this man is so clear. Anyone who is trying to fight this man for anything is just an adult who's making bad decisions. How could he be more clear on what he's saying? He literally says he doesn't even offer Diet Coke. There's a fry bar. Should that not be enough when you go into the restaurant to get you to get out?
Approach beating all of their competitors.
John, this is creating a firestorm. I have a feeling this is just what you wanted.
Well, I can't say that I don't enjoy the publicity. It definitely does pack the seats in the restaurant. We've been so lucky as of recently, our web traffic exceeds McDonald's.com.
After noticing that media stories help the business grow, that attempt to set the Guinness World Record for the world's unhealthiest burger, achieving such with the 9,982 calorie quadruple.
How? Actually not even sure how you do that. Like, how is that possible to make one burger that unhealthy?
Bypass burger, although this gluttonous piece of food would be served with a side of tragedy. The Heart Attack Grill had introduced a spokesperson named Blair River, who at 6'8", 570 pounds appeared in all of the restaurant's ads.
"I'm up another few inches. Who needs these old pants? I could eat for free."
In a 2011 news report, Blair talked about feeling incredibly healthy.
"This is good stuff. Everyone should be modern-sized like myself."
However, he passed away before the interview even aired.
Is this not another clear sign. I mean, this man knew exactly what he was doing. Obviously, it's sad that he passed away, but he seemed completely fine about eating the way that he was.
Blair died last week at the age of 29. His family says the cause of death was pneumonia.
Even in death, the Heart Attack Grill maintained their brutally honest branding.
Had he have been thinner, he most probably would have survived that pneumonia.
Aren't you glorifying obesity, which obviously kills?
Absolutely.
With Basso taking this even
He's so honest that no one can be upset about this. Like, this is the type of honesty you want from all business owners. I completely respect it. He's doing nothing wrong here. He's just giving them what they want.
further in a different interview.
If they do die here, I'm not going to lie to you. That's great for business. I'll say it again. Death is great for business at the Heart Attack Grill.
Although the media's
That is way too much. Of course, it's not his responsibility, but it's not great for business either. I don't see why anyone would want to go to a place like this more just because someone's dead. I think that that was one too far. Obviously, he's just saying it for attention.
goal of discrediting the founder only did the opposite. It's actually refreshing to see someone so painfully honest. The owner is great. He makes no apologies, nor should he. You can't blame him for people doing this to themselves.
Exactly.
It's impossible to hate this guy because he's being 100% honest. In a different interview, Basso showed his more compassionate side by stating, "Cynical people might think this, River's death, is funny, but people who knew him are crying their eyes out. There is a lot of mourning going on around here. You couldn't have found a better person. Even if he was skinny, we would have given him the job. We would have just put a fat suit on him. He just had personality, as did the restaurant's next spokesperson, Ernie Hart, who wouldn't last long either, although for a slightly different reason. In October 2011, Basso moved the restaurant to the land of indulgence, pleasure, and poor short-term choices. Las Vegas. The new
This is the cause of like all these problems in these videos I see. Taking it to Vegas is already a problem. Oh, I've seen this restaurant now. I remember this weight scale. I honestly didn't know what this restaurant was when they started the video, but now I remember. I mean, these burgers are absolutely insane, but once again, if you see a burger is 10,000 calories and you still eat it, that is your own problem.
approved restaurant featured a public electronic cattle scale, as well as new signage reading "Fighting Anorexia Since 2005" and "Send Hate Mail To," followed by their address. The new location also led to a brand new slogan,
Remember, the calories you eat in Vegas stay in Vegas.
as well as an instant increase in business.
We've both doubled in terms of money, in terms of square footage.
However, the craziest change was without a doubt their menu. Despite their quadruple bypass already holding the record for the highest calorie burger, the Heart Attack Grill then doubled their invention, creating the octuple bypass burger, which featured 8 patties, 40 pieces of bacon, and 19,900 calories.
20,000 calories. Of course, it has like 8 patties and bacon and everything, but I just can't imagine that a burger could ever have that much calories. I just want to know in people's mind what they're thinking when they're ordering something and seeing 20,000 calories. Do they just think that it's not going to affect them? Even if they didn't have a heart attack right on the scene, they are really causing themselves a lot of health problems here.
At around the same point in time, the Heart Attack Grill updated their website to include free video and images for the press, where the motivation for the octuple bypass burger became pretty obvious. They were trying to generate media attention, and this is exactly what they got. The new burger led to over 100 million views worth of exposure.
Obviously, like, that's the point of the burger. It wasn't for like the enjoyment of eating it, but I mean, to each their own.
On YouTube, as different content creators visited the restaurant to see if they could eat it. Those who could, such as Matt Stoney, were given a ride out of the restaurant in a novelty wheelchair, although there were others who were forced to leave in an ambulance.
A customer at the Heart Attack Grill was rushed to the hospital after eating a sandwich called the triple bypass burger.
In February 2012, an article was published titled "Man Has Heart Attack While Eating at the Heart Attack Grill," which is followed by another article only 2 months later reading, "Heart Attack Grill lives up to its name again this week when a woman collapsed in their Las Vegas restaurant. This marks the second person to fall victim to their horrifically caloric food in less than a year."
The burger is 20,000 calories. What do you think is going to happen? That's more calories than like the whole week that you need.
With the Heart Attack Grill responding in the most brand appropriate way, by bragging about it on their website. 2 ambulance departures in less than 60 days left an indelible mark on the Heart Attack Grill's public image. Dr. John delivered a clear message to the media that such tragedies shall inevitably continue due to having clientele which he refers to as being the avant-garde of nutritional risk takers.
I mean, he's completely honest about what's gonna happen when you eat their stuff. I think he should have just stopped there. Saying that the people dying is good for business is kind of a bit much.
Did that heart attack pad my wallet with money? Absolutely. Did I enjoy that? Absolutely.
Although this is still nothing.
Oh, he should have not enjoyed their death. That is just so rude to their families. Obviously, she was making dumb choices going to eat 20,000 calorie food, but it's still a person with family and stuff. I find that so crazy.
Compared to what would happen 1 year later. The Heart Attack Grill had a new unofficial spokesperson named John Ellerman, who was recognized as the restaurant's most loyal customer. He never missed a day, even on Christmas, Basso said. People just loved him. He connected with people in a real way, although all of this changed on the 11th of February 2013. After chowing down on his daily feed at the grill, John Ellerman suffered a heart attack and died while waiting for the bus at the front of the store.
I mean, every single day at something called the Heart Attack Grill, like, I just can't. Like, what are they thinking?
To Basso's craziest PR stunt to date.
They'll say it's grotesque. They'll say, how can you keep the man's cremation here?
With Basso keeping the cremation inside the restaurant as he wants you to know his food kills so that maybe you'll stop eating junk.
No. The man's ashes are literally in the restaurant. It is a very clear message. That should be a sign to dip the second that you see that. But obviously that didn't stop anyone because it seems like his restaurant is always packed.
Food kills so that maybe you'll stop eating junk. This man is willing to sacrifice his reputation and maybe even his humanity to try and make the world a healthier planet. And maybe even his humanity will stop eating junk. This man is willing to sacrifice his reputation and maybe even his humanity to try and make the world a healthier place. I respect him for it. Basso believes the restaurant helps customers to reflect on their own choices. The Heart Attack Grill restaurant has motivated me to take care of myself, stick to my diet. The namesake restaurant actually sends a very positive message. If you don't take care of yourself today, you might find yourself eating a free meal at my restaurant in the not so distant future because everyone over 350 pounds eats for free, and therefore Basso believes the restaurant is an overall positive.
I am a believer that when people hear my message, the net health benefit to society is incredibly good.
However, you won't be surprised.
I mean, he is kind of sending a decent message. He's just doing a bad thing overall, though. I mean, does any burger need to be 20,000 calories? Maybe with just that first burger being 10K, if you had put a stop there, I would have been like, okay, but 20K, like, that is just trying to kill someone.
To hear that not everybody agrees.
He's deliberately trying to get people to eat more than they need.
With this being echoed by the legendary Anthony Bourdain, who stated, "There is a restaurant in Vegas, I think it's called the Heart Attack Grill, where if you're over 350 pounds you eat for free. I think that should be pretty much a war crime." On top of this, a former waitress went public talking about her terrible time working at the restaurant, explaining that after a man passed out mid-meal, a manager made me take out my cell phone to record a video of the whole thing so they could send it to the media. It was on a Friday afternoon, and he hoped it would make the news so they could have a busy weekend. On the opposite end of the
honestly, if you took that job application that I saw that was just evil in itself, and you decide that you want to work there, that should not come as a shock to you at all. Seeing someone collapse on the ground, of course they're gonna make you do that. That's the type of place that you're choosing to work for. I think that that's so dumb to make a comment over that when you're choosing to go there every day.
Spectrum, a different waitress stated this.
I've been here 11 years. I enjoy this way too much.
So the experience clearly depends on which person you ask. In a different instance, the PCRM sent a letter to Basso asking him to declare moral bankruptcy and close the Heart Attack Grill. However, given the restaurant earned $5.5 million in revenue last year, it seems obvious that Dr. John Basso and the Heart Attack Grill won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
I for sure thought that this was something that happened a while ago. I did not think that this was still a standing restaurant. I mean, at least he's honest. Anyways, that video was crazy. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it though, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!